Let's go round the field. I must admit, I am liking this tractor. Almost as much as the Axiom, no. This once again is a mod, the Agco 1000 series mod. It comes in yellow, green and red. No surprises there. I decided to go with the yellow one because I've done Fent Farm. Old Stream Farm in 17 I did as a Fent Farm. And then I think second time I played it, I did it as a New Holland farm. I featured masses on a lot of my farms, and because Challenger doesn't really make a small tractor, and I tend to play small farms, this is actually an opportunity to run a Challenger. So that's what we're doing. And it's not a flexible frame. It doesn't bend in the middle for steering. It's still a fairly traditional tractor unit. Now, following this year's Ag Show, tractor I want to see is the Tracked Zerion come out as a mod. We've already had the cabless Case IH released on the Mod Hub now, which first videos I saw of that were mid last year, I think. Now the technology's been around for sort of guided ag equipment for quite a while now, but it tends to be a module that plugs into a regular tractor, so a person can still climb in the tractor and use it. A completely cabless tractor, you're kind of limited to computer control only. Now, great tractors, I mean obviously you can use them for pretty much any work. I've seen them effectively slaved to a regular tractor, and you can run, you know, multiple seeders on a field, where regular tractors driving along hauling a seeder, and then you've got cabless tractor next to him following the course. I've seen a regular tractor in unmanned mode emptying harvesters. The guy in the harvester just presses the button that he's ready to unload, and the crewless tractor will head on over and unload him. So there's all sorts of fun technology out there, and has been for years. Bit there. I think we can then lift this and run down the edge here. How's the planting going? Oh, he's doing okay. So unless we get any money over from Lawfolds this week, this this farm is kind of set for the year. We shall see. If I get a chance, I might have a look at how much the cow farm on Oakfield is worth with the surrounding fields, and factor that money in here. I'm not sure I need any extra money at the moment, but we do still have 4 more days of spring to go. This map is Oakfield Farm. We are right on the western edge, near that sell point there, whatever it's called. And good day to you, Pork 270, and welcome to the stream. But yeah, I'm ever so conscious that you start a new map, especially playing seasons, and you're going to be ploughing and cultivating and everything. And Pork 270, thank you for the follow. What are you doing? Dude, get out of my field. Ugh, some people just can't get the staff these days. Stay in your own field. Oh yes, literally in the title. I tend to be good about that. I might not say much about anything else I'm running, but the title generally says the map name. Okay, let me jump out and check on how that's going. Let's turn lead lime off. There are little bits of need to be ploughed knocking around here, so over there. So that's behind me. I lift the plough. No, let's lift the plough and flip it. Flip it. Flip, flip, flip. Yay. Oh yeah, I can see. There is one problem with these types of ploughs, is it's not very wide working width. And they're not very wieldy because they're so long. So you can end up having issues trying to plough various bits of the ground. With the subsoilers, because the plough is straight, or the head is straight, being precise is usually a lot easier. I would usually use the subsoiler to work field edges where I'm ploughing a new field or whatever. Okay, how does that look? That's still... I'm just not going to worry about it. Okay. So we'll bring this over here and park it there. Do the line thing. Okay. shouldn't take too long to get done. Helper I has completed. There's that helper I right next to me. You really think you finished already? You unfolded the thing and then stopped. So, engage forward, engage go. Seriously, go. I think there's a bit at the top missed, yes. Since that's all the local arable fields and all of the not local arable fields cost in the region of £300,000, I think we're probably done with the plough for most of the year, or at least for the rest of the year, unless I get ambitious. Well, no. The Farmer OC tradition is we plough what needs to be ploughed in the fall. Fresh startup is the only time I plough in spring and cultivate in spring, and we plant corn and soybeans in spring, and potentially on this map sunflowers, but we try and get most of everything done in the fall. Alrighty, we are back to the yard. To take the cultivator back up to the top field. It's time, still only 11 o'clock, okay. And Helper J, who is Helper J? Could be either of them, I guess. So I'm not going to bother putting any fertilizer on 8, since the plan is to put oilseed radish in that field now. So once we've spread the lime, we're done with the spreader. Okay. Oh, that's not good. Again, this is a much tighter yard than Lawfolds was, although it's not as tight as some of them are. Get that up against the left-hand wall, that would be good, because this is a long piece of equipment and does have the habit of getting in the way if I put it where it's aiming for. Okay. Oh no, we've run out of seed. Well, that's a disaster. because we are going to have to do something about that. This is not a particularly wide entrance either. I may put this exactly where it's going. And put the cedar up on the top wall. Oh, bad, bad. Good. And this mod is also AdBlue enabled. I'm going to stick this here for now. And we'll take this one up to the field, since it's the only thing I've got with a front loader at the farm. Stab the wood. Try that again. Alrighty. Well, that's all where it needs to be. What it might be nice to have is a strap so that it doesn't fall off. But not a luxury I have loaded, so what appears to be the issue? Okay. Something. Invisible bump in the road. Hi, doggy. Oh, this is heavier than the weight. Once we get on the road, we should be okay. There we go. Oh, I was afraid that might happen. Recommend starting E. Okay, if you are starting out playing Farm Sim, I would recommend probably start on Ravenport and play the sort of tutorial bits of that map. It basically says, hey, go over and get in that harvester and start harvesting that field. And then it'll highlight a tractor. Now go over to that tractor and start doing whatever needs to be done on that field. And probably play a couple of hours with that to get used to how the game works and everything else. Once you are done with that, I would then say maybe start a game or two on New Farmer, because that gives you the equipment the map maker thinks is a good idea for you to start with. Personally, I think it's too many tractors most of the time, but you can sell, you know, superfluous tractors and free up some cash to do things with. But once you're happy playing the game, then it's very easy to just get on and where is my seeding tractor gone? Dude, where's my Axion? Well, I completely missed you. It's, like I said, these fields boundaries are Not good for the workers. That field hedge is not good since this is a field for sheep. Oh, okay, it wasn't the seeder that was empty, it was the lime spreader that was empty. Aha. Well, we still need some seeds, so let's do that. Do this bit. Turn it off, lift it up, and we'll pull alongside here. And get that loaded. But generally my preference is probably starting with a 1.25 million, although 250,000 of it is a loan. So you need to repay that. I think since this tractor's the faster of the two, I'll go and find that stack of seed on the road. But once, you know, if you're a farm sim veteran, then the starting with 500,000 can be a very good challenge. I tend to play farm sim very frugally, so we usually end up with we'll usually end up not having too much in the way of financial problems. I've seen a fair number of people try a start from scratch 500,000 and they go broke before summer. Now this isn't really any standard start. I've cheated money in, I haven't cheated equipment in, but that's from the storyline of this farm is a continuation of a stream I've been running every Saturday for over a year and a half now. The previous stream was Farm Sim 17, this one is Farm Sim 19. And I ended the 17 one about 2 weeks ago because it's about time we moved on to Farm Sim 19 on this particular streaming session. But because we've closed down one farm and started up a new one, the rationale is there that we're just transferring the money from one farm to another. We've sold the farm in Scotland, or we're in the process of selling the farm in Scotland, and we've moved down to the Welsh borders to start up an entirely new farm. The tractor on the front of this seeder we bought with us. Everything else has been purchased new for this farm. And the reason we bought this tractor with us is because it's a good large tractor, and it allows me to determine, is the engine size on this tractor sufficient for working the equipment that we're using. Now, I'm finding, I think it is. It's 380 horsepower, I believe, so shy of 400, but there is enough power to operate that plough, the seeder we're running, the cultivator, so it gives me a target. I can quite adequately run this farm with tractors under 400 horsepower. Now, not too far under 400 horsepower, but I don't need 450 horsepower tractors to work the equipment and hills here. But all of the other tractors we're buying are going to be net new, but As I said, we've only got 119,000 money here, and it'll be a while before we receive any more from sales of the farm, auction of the equipment up in Scotland. And that's the storyline we're going with for this one. I do run a farm on Mondays, which is a start from scratch farm, 500,000, and we are very limited on that farm. We have one tractor because I can't afford anything more than that, and it's not a very big tractor, it's less than 100 horsepower. All the equipment we have, likewise less than 100 horsepower requirement to haul it. And it's my challenge farm. Can I make this farm work? But a lot of people who do a start from scratch, especially running with seasons, well, even not running with seasons, but they'll say, oh, I need a plough, I need a tractor, I need a spreader, I need a sprayer, I need a seeder, I need a cultivator, I need a harvester, and they buy all of their equipment, and then they get out into the field and it's sort of, oh, I can't afford any seed, or I can't afford any fertilizer. So you bought the fertilizer spreader, but you now can't afford any fertilizer to put in it because you've spent all your money. And then the maintenance costs of their equipment gets ahead of them, and they're going broke before they've harvested their first crop. I have yet to have that problem. I had that problem when I played Farm Sim 17 the first time. I think I bought a bunch of equipment. Oh, well, I'm going to sell that tractor, buy a bigger tractor. Oh, I don't like that harvester, I'll buy a bigger harvester. And then by the end of a couple of days of play, in-game days of play, it's sort of, my maintenance costs are 30,000 a day, and my income from harvest is 10,000. Sort of, you've blown it at that point. You can't, you max out your loan, you can't get any further, and you've lost. So big hints: avoid taking out loans if you can. You take out loans to do things that will make you money. So on a normal game, I will avoid, excuse me a sec while I set that right, okay. On a normal game, I will avoid, buying equipment with loans, at least for the first year. I usually try and avoid hiring helpers until harvest. Now, why is it getting so dark? Helpers don't make you money, but they can help you get stuff in time if you're playing a time limited play. So seasons, there is a time to plant, a time to harvest, and rain, if it happens, is going to delay your harvest or completely wipe out your harvest. The last day of fall on Lawfolds, it rained overnight, so on the last day I woke up, all the crops are wet, and before the crops dried out, the rains for the last day of fall happened, so I could not have harvested anything on that last day. Now it just so happens that I'd already harvested all of my crops. I was looking to make hay. I couldn't make hay because the ground was wet. But if you look at the weather forecast, and I've got the weather forecast because I'm running seasons here, So if I look at the weather forecast, it's sunny today, it's cloudy with some sun on Wednesday. On Wednesday night it's going to rain, potentially. So I've got to be aware that, well, if I've got grass out in the field drying to become hay, that's not going to happen. Saturday has the potential of rain. Now, the further out this forecast goes, it thinks it might be sunny on Sunday. Who knows at this point? It's likely to be sunny, but it could rain. It could snow. There could be a thunderstorm. Who knows? So, but it gives you some sort of indication so you can plan ahead. But when you're working, when you've got a limited time, and this one I've got 6 days each season, so there's 6 days to harvest all my fields, and if it's going to get tight, I'm going to want to make sure that I can get the work done. So bringing in a helper to drive the harvester while I cart the grains back to the silo on the farm is probably a good plan.